everyone, my name is Dana. Now I'm so excited because I found some book among classic literature. This is about The Merchant of Venice. Yes, before I start summarize, I want to explain the writer. His name is William Shakespeare. He is English playwright and poet. Born into a wealthy family in England, he moved to London and he began the career in earnest, rising to prominence and achieving the status of England's greatest playwright. But actually, when I saw his life, he didn't learn anything compared with another person. The Merchant of Venice has three main protagonists and one antagonist. And this is especially a didactic novel. There are two moneylenders in Venice. One is Shylock as a Jew and other is Antonio. But there was a great different thing between Shylock and Antonio, even though they had same job. Shylock was lending money at numerous interests. However, Antonio was lending to help people willingly. So they're an enemy, like each of people. So someday, Antonio's friend Bassanio, his protagonist, his request to borrow his money to 3,000 of the proposal of marriage. However, he also didn't have money for borrowing, so that's why Bassanio needed to borrow money from Shylock, even though he was antagonist and he was like so selfish. But he suggests Antonio's pledge as a guarantee. So he just signed a contradiction because Antonio needs to give money to Bassanio. So through this contract, he could receive 3,000 ducats. Further, he succeeded to a proposal of marriage. Nevertheless, Antonio could not pay until the due date, so he needed to give his pledge as a penalty. Because of this, Portia, who married with Bassanio, became a judge with these guys. As a judgment started, the Shylock said, this contract was a guarantee between Antonio and me. He said like that. So it doesn't have to break this contract article. Give me a pledge of 1 pound to Antonio and to everyone. She said you need to bring without his any blood. Is it possible? Of course cannot. So she was really smart and clever. Thus, Antonio saved his life and they lived forever. This story was finished like this. I could think how much a person can be immoral through Shylock's behavior. Shylock's attempt to kill him was very subtle and he put a pound of flesh as a penalty. If Antonio paid up, he could get the money back without loss. But if he didn't, he could kill him. It was a very unfair contract. And when he couldn't pay, his trial was held. Many people criticized it as immoral. Shylock didn't care anything. Just after the trial, he insisted on just getting a pound of flesh, even though it wouldn't break the trust of anyone to borrow money from him. This is an act of blindness to evil. If you're the Jews and as a moneylender, you're supposed to be intelligent. He should be able to look at the situation objectively and have a good math gear. Through this story, I felt the prototype of the promotion of virtue and reproval of vice. This is how evil is judged. In a time when we live in a very assiduous world, these classics literature give us hope once again. It is also a novel that will release our frustrated heart in an area that is concentrated on fair. I want to read a lot of classic novels to understand the humanity that was pursued in that era and to think about how it can be interpreted in the modern age. This is all by Decisions. Thank you for listening.